video discussing that footage.
Could we?
Yeah.
A whole 45 minutes?
Yeah. He's like, what's up with this guy? One cop's like pulling somebody off. And then like trying to get in. Oh, and then you got a couple female cops just wandering the perimeter.
All right, we are live on YouTube. Go Facebook Live in about 3 minutes.
Tres minutos. So what's this house you're going to show? Big deal, all of you?
35 Edgewood, 200,000.
Nice. Tell him I'll give him 194 right now.
Okay.
Is that the street Phil lives on?
No.
Are you talking about Phil McCracken?
No, it's in Oakwoods, and I think Edgewood, if I remember, it is backed up to like a nice forested area. There's a street on the other side, but
No.
there's a lot of old trees out there. I like it. I like the area.
It's unincorporated. That's why they don't have curbs.
Yeah, oh, they don't have gutters either, huh? Or sewers.
Sewer.
No.
They got ditches.
Does that mean all the houses have, is that lower Texas out there?
Huh?
Is that lower Texas?
Lower
Well,
Texas.
yeah, if you don't have sewer.
Do they all have, septic tanks?
No. No, it's city sewer, I think.
Okay, because it is right out there by the city sewer. Like within a mile. Yeah, I don't know if you've been out this on. It was just on.
It was just not.
If you take Oakland all the way out, you actually run into Fox Creek. I don't know if you know that, Steve.
Yeah,
It's like the end of the earth,
kinda. Except in,
right? Like in Pleasantville, it's like, what happens if you go off this side of Pleasantville? That's silly. You just come in the other side.
it's crazy, man.
I think Pleasantville is probably one of my favorite movies of that year, which would have been probably like, what, 2004?
Ask Echo.
Echo. What year did the movie Pleasantville come out?
The film Pleasantville was released about 23 years ago on October 23, 1998. By the way, I can lend your voice to improve your Alexa experience. Would
Oh.
you like to try it?
Okay.
Shit, it's 6 o'clock.
Echo, Volume 7.
Once I learn your voice, I'll be able to call you by name, tell you apart from others who use the Echo devices you speak to, and personalize your experience. First,
Echo, stop. Echo, Volume 6. Seems to be the best one.
That does seem like that's what's going on?
Maybe restart the computer. See if it would.
We gotta blow the computer.
Tell me where the Pampers is?
Are you kidding me?
No.
Shabani is the girl's name. Not Shabani.
Shabani? How do you spell that?
It's like it sounds.
It sounds like it's got a J, a V in it.
I don't hear a J in there.
Shabani? Is it French?
No, it's Indian. Shabani.
Like as in Hindu or Native American?
As in, like,
Hindu.
Pakistan, maybe?
No, you're talking India, probably. Well, if you said Indian, I don't know. Semantics, right? Or no, it's not semantics. Culture.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from MJ's Lofty Dreams apartment and worldwide on YouTube and Facebook Live, this is the Moon Club Podcast with AJ, MJ, and SJ. The Moon Club will talk about anything under the moon, no subject will ever be taboo. This episode of the Moon Club Podcast is brought to you by Realtor MJ Adelman, Bloomington Normal's premier realtor for the joint home selling team at Remax Rising, and I want to be your realtor, and I will out hustle everybody all day, every day, and then
Doubled up on Sunday.
to prove it.
True that.
What's the state of the moon, brother?
It is currently August 10th, 2021. It's 6:03 p.m. The moon comes up at 8:02 a.m. today, or it came up at 8:02 a.m. today, and it goes down at 9:36 p.m. tonight. So that means it's probably out right now. It is currently waxing crescent. It's only 5% illuminated. Probably not going to be able to see it. It is 379,590 100 kilometers away from us. It's 2 days old. And it is in the sign of Viggo Mortensen.
And how illuminated is Steve?
I'm gonna let you know. Thanks to that Skywalker OG from IESO, I'm high as the sky, man. I'm fully illuminated.
How about we do it all together?
Skywalker OG.
2, 3.
Good
Good evening, you lovely lunatics.
Skywalker OG.
That's where that goes now, huh? I like it.
Yeah. Nice.
That's where we're gonna slide in my catchphrase.
Well, wouldn't it be our catchphrase? I mean, like, if you're here and
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
here,
Yeah,
don't that make it ours?
yeah.
And what's wrong with enjoying a little piece on our time?
Right you are, Mr. Trainer and Mr. Adelman. Come on up, come on up.
Is that one of the greatest movies of all time?
What was it?
Fast Times.
That Ridgemont High.
Is there a new business in town that says it's called Fast Times and it's in that font?
I haven't seen it.
I saw like a picture on Facebook or something. I was like, oh man, I can't believe they did that. Good for them.
But I tell you what, I'm surprised with all the remakes that one hasn't been touched.
Where would you place it? Like after they all graduate from high school, or would you maybe do a prequel, like where they go back and they're in grade school?
I'm talking about just basically the same movie, but just modernize it.
So you just retell the same story with different actors?
Yeah, maybe it's their kids.
Yeah, just like they're doing with everything,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
I mean,
is
they
there
made
an original
Ghostbusters
idea?
too, or Ghostbusters with just girls.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
is there an original
wouldn't you
idea?
call that a coming of age movie? It's kind of like everybody losing their virginity.
Well, one in particular. Don't you remember when you lost
Yeah.
your virginity?
Yes, I remember the moment. And what she looked up, what was on the baseball dugout? There's some useless phrase that somebody put, and like when she was losing her virginity,
Here lies shit lip.
something as arbitrary as that.
Why don't you ask Echo?
No, I don't think I would know how to ask her that.
I don't think Echo would know that specifically.
And then the other girl lost it in the shed, or in the pool where the changing room at the
Pool
pool.
room?
Yeah. And he's like a 2-pump chump.
Again, we're talking about Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Lunatics,
Yeah.
if you ain't seen it.
And then
See it.
and then she goes and tells Phoebe.
Phoebe Case.
Yeah, and what'd she write on the side of that dickhead's car? Dickhead or something?
Makes sense.
Yeah. I don't think that was it though.
I'm not sure that it was. It would make sense.
You know, something I've been thinking about recently, and I was kind of mulling it over, and I was going to ask you guys now, if you've got 4 years to prepare for any activity in the Olympics, and you had 4 years to train, what do you think you would have the best chances at? MJ?
What's that?
if you had 4 years to train for the next Olympics, what do you think what sport would you go for?
Maybe like beer guzzling. Maybe?
Oh, I was being serious. What about archery? I think that would be my first choice.
That would be your first.
Yeah. My second would be probably curling because it looks like an activity that I can probably.
Talking about like curling weight or?
Yeah, I'm talking about curling, like where you're basically sliding shit on ice.
Shuffleboard on ice.
Yeah.
Well, so that's Winter Olympics.
Yeah. Well, I said Olympics. I didn't say winter or summer. Matter of fact, I'm the kind of person that kind of does better in cold weather.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah. Is
All
there?
right. Well, hey, I'm gonna cut out of here. You guys are gonna get an hour in or however much you can. Austin's gonna take over this,
What? That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm gonna
and
do
then
it.
I'm gonna go show a house. And
You're gonna show house to what?
if I'm not back by the time you're done, you know how to stop the recording and stop the recording and stop the recording. There's one on here, one there, and one there.
What the exciting thing about it is, no, I don't.
All right, we'll
I'm
figure
just
it out.
kidding.
Yeah, he's only done this for 5 years.
All right, good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. Glad he's left. He was really getting on my
So
nerves.
Steve, what sport can you do? Because you're like 90% blind, so
Well, I mean, there's a lot of new sports in Olympics right now. And I can do anything I put my mind to.
is playing cards is that a spectator sport in the Olympics?
You know, I wouldn't know, but that would not be a blind man's sport.
You know, I guess this year has got the lowest turnout for people watching the Olympics on TV in like the last 30.
Well, you know, and we still won the medal count, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, was that even with Simone Biles' little mishap? I mean, everything was okay. Pump your brakes, America. We still did all right.
You know what? I'm happy with Simone because she took her health before she put it on the priority list, and it's good that a person like that's so important can actually put her her mental health first. It's very important. So good for her. I'm trying to get some air on me.
I figured that's what you were doing.
Yeah. How about that? If you guys can't tell, it's like sweltering in here.
Is it sweltering?
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Yeah.
Oh, look here. Rolo's in the house. So
That-
who's watching them?
That's just my brother, baby dog. You know what?
I'll find out.
I have not even looked. Matter of fact, I don't even know if we're live.
I thought we were.
I see no indication.
I'm pretty sure we're not. If not, we're definitely
Yeah,
live
we are.
on YouTube.
Okay, we are live.
You gonna roll a video, or are you gonna play any footage? Or?
Yes, I do have some video to play. I don't know how many people are watching, but you know what? This is an important video that we can actually just reference, and people can come back to it later. Let me see. I think I'm gonna watch the James Freeman version because he does a pretty good job of explaining it. Woo! Hit the YouTube.
Just let me know when you want me to hit the lights.
Okay. Are you gonna be my lights guy?
I think I can take care of that, man.
Okay.
I don't even think you've shared this with anybody yet. have you?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, obviously you know, right?
I think I have shared it with some people. Oh shit. Keep talking, Steve.
Well, what are you doing?
I'm looking for the Miami Cubs.
Did anyone find out if sweltering was the right enunciation of that
I don't know
word?
if I think it's 6 now.
I think you're right though about sweltering. It is about 7,000 degrees. It's ironic that we're doing the Moon Club podcast from the sun.
Yeah. And wouldn't you know, I can't find it now. I'm just gonna get rid of the first part.
So much for your aspirations of the executive producer of the year.
Right?
Yeah, I think you better stick to Derailer. I think you might get that too.
Oh, thanks, Steve. You always know how to boost my confidence.
I'm just trying to say.
Right now, what I'm looking for is I think it was
Dignity.
5 days ago. There was a black man that he was on a motor scooter.
Why's it gotta be a black man?
Well, I don't know why it seems to be that's preferable to a lot
Well,
of police.
actually, I believe the answer to that question because both of his parents were.
Okay, and then it looks like the fucking Matrix. It really does. Okay, here we go. Steve, is this your first time watching it?
This will be my first time. Do I need an adult?
Yeah, hit the lights. You might need a.
You won't want to
you
go back
might
to
need to
the
get a
theater
waiver.
after this. You gotta look yourself in the mirror and ask.
We do have some breaking news on a story you saw exclusively first right here on
It's
10.
too hot, Rolo. It's too hot, baby.
Set to be announced against Miami Beach police officers involved in a controversial arrest. Let's send it over to Raj Lohi. He is live in the state attorney's office where that announcement is about to be made.
Well, on Friday, when we first reported this story, we said the main thing with this story is this video apparently showing several Miami Beach police officers using what the state is calling excessive force in their arrests of several individuals. We are expecting to hear from Miami-Dade State Attorney Catherine Fernandez-Rundle, who is walking up behind me now, as well as Miami Beach Police Chief Richard Clemens. So let's take a quick listen to what they have to say.
Don't look too close to this girl's face. It's kind of scary.
Sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here today as a result of what transpired at the Royal Palm Hotel on Miami Beach last week. I do believe that body-worn cameras are an important part of policing, and as you know, I advocated from the very beginning, along with the former chief of Miami Beach Police Department, for their countywide usage. Hiring hospitalization and crutches. Mr. Crudup allegedly fled the scene on a scooter, rushing to the Royal Palm Hotel where he was staying. Police and drops down to the ground with his arms outstretched in front of him. He then arrived on the scene. Now, some of the body camera footage captures the clink that you're not going to hear or discertain of the handcuffs being secured around Mr. Crudup's wrists. Ultimately, approximately 21 other Miami Beach officers arrived on the scene to assist in various degrees the apprehension of Mr. Crudup.
What's up,
It
Matthew
is at
Moffett?
this point the
Amy
situation
Edelman.
begins to change.
Dwayne Dixon is
In my
watching. What's up,
opinion, from a
Dwayne?
legitimate arrest
Watch
of
these
a
cops
criminal
give this
suspect
guy a good
into an
beat down.
ongoing investigation
This is old school
of the
stuff.
use of force by 5 Miami Beach police officers, leading to their being criminally
I'm gonna move
charged
forward so we can
today.
see the good stuff.
By the way, this is why duty to intervene in training.
Yeah, this is right when he gets to the motel.
At this point, George, if you could play the video,
Rolo
please.
just fell off the seat.
You'll see
Okay, so see,
Mr. Crudup getting to the elevator. You'll see Lieutenant Jose Reyna, who follows Mr. Crudup into the hotel, catching up to him
watch
at
the
the
first
hotel
two get him
elevator.
cuffed.
He holds him at gunpoint. Mr. Crudup
another,
has
that's
his hands
3.
raised and he drops to the ground,
4,
and now his arms are
5,
outstretched in front of him.
6, 7,
He
8,
then
9,
places
10.
his hands behind his back as Lieutenant
11,
Reyna
12,
kneels to apparently begin placing Mr.
14.
Crudup in handcuffs.
You can't see on this,
Other
but they're
Miami
beating
Beach
him.
police officers arrive on the scene.
I was so excited to get there, he tripped.
Stop. Just
So
there.
there's the first kick to the face, I think.
If you could roll back just a little bit, George, I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch it very, as you can see, it moves very slowly, so we're
Watch
trying
this
to-
guy pull a cop off so he can get
Okay,
his.
you'll see there, Officer Kevin Perez kicking Mr. Crudup.
It's like zombies
We
feeding,
believe,
doesn't
as I
it?
said earlier, we just
Looks
didn't catch
crazy.
it for you,
This guy just got thrown
that
out.
the handcuffs were already placed on him, we could hear it on another
They're still coming in.
body-worn camera.
Watch this guy do a fucking soccer slide in.
Then you'll see, the video appears to show, Sergeant Jose Perez, and we're still with Kevin Perez. Go on to the next one, please. You see the slow motion replay there?
It's ridiculous.
Okay, now,
Right there, George.
do you see the guy over
Can
to
you
the
see
right
this?
Yeah,
that's
filming.
filming?
It took me several times. I don't, can you see that action right there? Is that visible to all of you? Yes? Okay, good.
Watch the guy slide in. That's the best.
Now what you'll see is about 15 seconds later, he is on the ground handcuffed. He's not really moving, but he is being held down. You saw the subsequent kick again by Sergeant Perez. And then we'll keep moving with that. You'll see a head slam. I don't know if you can catch that there. See that right there?
Woo! Jesus!
So Sergeant Perez had, who kicked him, had then. You'll see
Oh, here
him
comes the guy
come back
sliding
around
in.
just a
You see the guy,
second.
they don't say anything about him, but he slides right into position. You see that?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm getting mine in. Dude, this is 70s style. I'm so proud of him. George Floyd didn't teach him shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like that never happened. You know what I'm saying? Are you a little bit pissed about
You
this?
see him down on the ground there. That's
Well, I
after the
mean, it's
body
just
slam.
ridiculous.
And then you got,
And you see
you
that
know what?
boxer
Tyranny comes in no
spread.
fucking shades, type or
And
color.
then about
There's
8 seconds
got white cops, you
later,
got
when
female
he's still
cops,
on the
you've got,
ground, no longer moving again, it
white
appears
male
Sergeant
cops
Perez
seem to
comes
be the
back.
majority, but now they're going after the
You'll see
cameraman
this right here, watch.
for filming in
there.
public, a constitutionally protected activity. This is what you get. You see that one?
Did
That
you
was
see
a good
that
one.
kick there? Okay.
Blam. It doesn't matter.
There
He's,
it is in
I think he's probably passed
slow
out by now.
motion replay.
That was just one for the team.
So that's 3 times.
Now,
by
what crime did he
Sergeant
commit that
Officer
he
Perez.
fled
So
from?
for these
He wrecked
actions,
his motor scooter
Miami
into
Beach Police
a
Sergeant
police
Jose
officer.
Perez is being
On a
charged
motor
today.
scooter.
We then have
Coincidentally
Miami
went to the
Beach
hospital,
Officer
and he
Kevin
fled.
Perez, who's also, by the way, there's no relationship, as I understand it, right, Chief?
We got two
Between the
Perez's.
two Perez's. It's just coincidental, they both have a same last name. This video appears to show Kevin Perez picking Mr. Crudup at least 4 times. Let's see.
Dude, you know who's
Back there.
what about the
That's
cops that are
officer.
watching him do this? They're
Just
just
as
as
guilty.
guilty, yeah.
That's a different angle. These are body worn cameras at this point. Then about 5 seconds later,
Okay, they're gonna show him going after the cameraman now?
you see Officer can pick him up, and again, I think we've done this already. Okay, so now, does that conclude this part of the videos? Okay, so now we're going to move on to the scenario involving victim Kayla Vaughn. So I don't know if you
This
saw
guy's
it
got a hell of a
earlier.
case.
I
They
failed to
both
point
do.
it out to you. But you'll see that according to the video, Mr. Caleb Vaughn seems to be a bystander in the hotel lobby, and he appears to be standing approximately 12 to 15 feet away from the apprehension of Mr. Crudup. And Mr. Vaughn appears to begin filming
They're
the
still
scene
thirsty,
with
you know,
his-
Steve?
looks like his cell phone.
We ain't done feeding yet.
At which point Officer Robert Sabater arrives on the scene approximately 30 seconds after Mr. Vaughn first began filming without incident. You're seeing, go back to that again, please. George, would you roll that back? Yeah. So you're seeing, we think that officers here are saying back up, and you're seeing him take about 4 steps
Right, you
back
got fucked.
with his camera. Now you see Officer Sabater running in and tackling
Man,
him
as a linebacker, huh?
there.
Dude, they show this body cam footage. Him just like wailing on this guy for doing nothing. Nothing.
Now, if you hold it right there, now what you see is after he's tackled, this
Ridiculous.
is actually,
Yeah.
these are his shorts, and that's a fist right there. And watch what happens next. I'm sorry, but it's all we have. It's what it is. So if you could play that, George, please. Now what you see there is a series of punches in the back rib cage area or kidney area. It's on the back. You see that there? So, because of those actions that you just saw, Miami Beach Police Officer Robert Sabater is being charged today.
Thank goodness.
Now we have the body-worn camera video of Officer David
You know,
Rivas.
one of the most disturbing things about this is looking into it. A lot of police have this thing called qualified immunity. You know what that is? We can't sue them unless they lose their qualified immunity, because their qualified immunity protects them. Say they have to shoot like a dog or something, and the people try to sue them. Well, you can't sue them because you're going to sue the police station instead, and the taxpayers are going to end up paying, like if they get sued, $150,000. The taxpayers have to do that. The policeman is not held personally accountable. You know what I'm saying? Well, if all these officers lose their qualified immunity, they're going to go after them personally. And when that starts happening, things start to change.
Well, they should lose their jobs and lose their pensions
They will.
anyhow.
I think
so,
they probably will. These will.
And go to prison anyhow. So,
This is going to be a huge story.
They should kind of mess up their lives anyhow.
Right. Because, man, I don't think that any of them got arrested until, like, I think 48 hours later, and I could just see them all. It's like, man, and then I went up and tackled them. I got like 3 in myself, It's like,
Well, I mean, honestly, like,
it's mob mentality.
if someone were to sue an officer, they may never get their settlement. But if you're to sue the city, at least you may get your settlement.
Right.
So I would
Right.
rather them do that.
Well, yeah, because this cops, a lot of cops do. It's like, say they get fired from Miami, they'll go run up to Fort Myers and get a job at that police station.
Well, they should be all blacklisted. And the thing about it is there are good cops out there, but it's just no one's showing us the video of what the good cops are doing.
You know what? I think this is going to bring the conversation of qualified immunity into the public, and we're going to start to learn that these cops are untouchable. And you know what? They can't be running the streets and acting like this. And there's another thing that there's another rule. A cop recently got arrested, and his partner got arrested too for being what do you call it when you just stay out of it?
Guilty by association.
Guilty by omission. Just because you didn't do anything about it. And I can't really remember what that case was. I think it was another cop beating somebody up, and his the female cop there, she didn't do shit about it. Well, what they've got now is, since they're arresting the partners if they don't do anything about it, it's a new thing, and it's called de-escalate and report. And if they don't follow this process, they can be charged with the crime too. And they're gonna start turning one another in, and it's gonna you're gonna see that thin blue line start to fracture. Because they can't be running around acting like tyrants anymore.
Yeah, well, again, not all do. But there
Oh no,
are
not
some
all, but
that cross
I'm
the
just
line.
ashamed that this happened, and it's like, I guess we didn't learn anything from Mr. Floyd, and this is the worst footage I've ever seen.
Well, again, I guarantee you that there were some officers there that had some seniority, and after an incident, that had national attention like George Floyd, those officers should have been a little smart enough, instead of just like turning their back and turning a blind eye to the situation, actually going over there and restoring justice. And
Right.
figuring that
Next thing you know, we're gonna have to start saying, I'm gonna blame the citizen that's standing there watching this happen and doesn't run over there and do something to help the person.
possible.
What would you have done if you were there at George Floyd's scene?
If I was at George Floyd's scene?
Yeah, would you be walking up on him and being
Well, unfortunately, this is the deal. I would like to say that I would have said something, and I definitely know I would have said something, at least spoke my mind. But you see the retaliation that everybody that's watching, when you're an innocent bystander watching police act out these situations and be totally, I'm not sure, military-like and judge and jury right there on the street.
Right. You know what? Thank
You
God I'm
kinda
not
fear
afraid
for
of my
yourself,
town. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Kind of fear for yourself.
Yeah,
So.
I'm not afraid of my town's police.
Huh? You may if you find yourself in that situation.
The worst in the country though is Arizona. And they're famous, dude. They're so famous for fucking being
Would that be infamous?
tyrants. Well, famous. Pirates of Arizona. Let me see. Tyra Banks that live in Pirates, Arizona. Let me see.
It is a little bit warm in here.
Yeah, dude. Maybe I'm just a little upset after watching that. It doesn't seem like we've learned anything.
Well, you know, you got to take 3 steps back before you can think.
Yeah, out of those 21 cops, it's like not one of them's like. That's fucked up.
Not one of them even like went to the door and was like, maybe I'll go out the back. Man. I don't need to come in there.
And then you went.
They
How
got
about
enough
how about
help.
the female cops? We didn't really talk about them, but they're just walking around the outside, protecting the scene.
Who knows what's really going through their mind? You know, it's hard to judge people.
Yeah,
You know, judge not lest you be judged, right? I mean, but
I'm judging.
so what kind of comments we getting there, Big Lee?
I don't know because I'm sweating so bad I can't pick up my phone. We're getting a lot of stuff, but you know what? I can't see it. Michelle Parker made a comment. Thanks for that. Matthew Moffat, what's up? Michelle Parker watching again. Dawn Belmar, what's up, Dawn? So we're sweating and we're uncomfortable, but we're gonna try to stick it out here. I bet we can't go until
Well,
MJ gets back.
I'm uncomfortable that you're sweating. That's
Yeah.
what I'm uncomfortable about. I mean, I'm
Let me see.
sweating, but I mean, what are you looking up? BBCs? No,
Yeah.
please don't. Don't go there. Don't go there. You know, I still haven't lost faith in the police, so but I kind of lose faith in the system. What about old Governor Cuomo?
Yeah, Cuomo, he can go fuck himself.
Well, I think he is going to. I think he's going to be gone in 2 weeks. He's going to head.
Yeah, you said that he resigned, huh?
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
You know, but you
Good
call
riddance, bye Cuomo.
if you're playing
A little too late.
if you're playing a game of chess and the person across the table goes checkmate, and it's like, all right, I resign. That's basically a resignation, right?
No, that's a loss.
Oh.
That's definitely an L.
What about the one right before that before they put you in checkmate? What if you're like, hold on a sec, I don't feel like playing this game anymore. I do not consent to this game anymore.
No, the only way that you can get out of a chess or a checkers game is to jump up like you got something in your pants and accidentally spill the board. That's it.
Okay,
That's all you-
and that's a legal move.
That's illegal.
What about
can you
the,
do at that point? Unless you remembered exactly where they're at.
What if you take a bathroom break and you just never come back?
I would consider that an L too.
Mama, what's vacation? Vacation's when you go somewhere and you never ever come back. Dude, I had no idea this was
Shout out to all the lunatics. Why don't you all go ahead and drink since Austin's running? You know, this is what happens when the inmates run the asylum.
Right? And it's 100 degrees in here. So, dude, I don't even know if people are watching.
Oh, there's plenty of people watching. I mean, there's 1,500 just in Taiwan alone.
Yeah.
Which we appreciate, and we would like to be a country. We support Taiwan and being their own country.
For sure.
Simple as that. And the big bad China can, you know what, right?
Yeah, go fuck themselves.
Hey, you said it. I just heard it.
I got some good shit to play.
I'm going to go on your word for it.
Okay.
Do you got that live? Are we going to MJ Live?
Thanks.
Did you say donut?
Fuck, I misspelled it. Yeah, there's this guy that reviews cops. His name's Donut Operator. G-O-U-G.
Donut. Everybody knows donut is D-O-N-U-T. Donut. Am I right? Help Austin out, lunatics, even though he can't see your comments. Even though he don't know that you're watching. Shout out. Hit that like button. Let us know that you're watching. Even if you don't like it, if you hate the damn show, hit the wow. Hate it. You know, sad. If I make you sad, I'm sorry. Not really, but...
Okay, let me see. This guy's pretty good. This guy does honest reviews of police videos. His name's Donut Operator.
I'm a cartoon? I'm sorry,
Hi everyone, Donut here. Today we're going to take a...
look at another innocent boat captain who was kidnapped and trafficked by vicious road pirates. According to the description on the video, this incident took place on March 26, 2018 at approximately 11:40 a.m. This is going to be the Village of Pinehurst Police Department in North Carolina, and
But
according
he's very honest with his
to
reviews.
the person
Well,
who
this
posted
is
this,
3
it's
years
going to be
ago.
Kyle A.
Yeah.
Stetson who made the traffic stop, but that's not his real name.
This
Everyone
guy-
knows
this
his
guy
real name
used
is
to be a
Irish
cop,
69. I'm guessing
he,
that the
opened
person
up a
who's seeing the
skateboard
video
shop.
right here is the same person who created this channel. Let's
Yes,
go ahead and
he's
read the
got a YouTube
description off.
channel.
On March 26, 2018 at approximately 11:40 a.m. EST, I was illegally apprehended and stopped of my travels. Kay Stetson, doing business as a police officer for the Pinehurst Police Department, attempted and succeeded in an unlawful kidnapping, human trafficking, ransom, extortion, unreasonable/unwarranted search and seizure, assault and battery, damage to personal property, damage to property, unlawful arrest, color of law violations, failure to properly identify, and unconstitutional abuse of power. While on my travels, from taking my brother to work, Stetson, doing business as a police officer for the Pinehurst Police Department, pulled me over for a possible suspended license after profiling me as a suspect due to the fact that I didn't fit the description of the owner of the registered vehicle, my dad. And then he goes on to describe exactly what he's charging the police officer with, including all the classic sovereign citizen laws that they like to quote and say that you don't need a driver's license to drive a car on the road. Now, the reason we're doing the video in this format is because as long as you see me and my face in this little square down here, it means it's fair use. We're going to watch it together, though. It's going to be fun. I've got to go ahead and thank Superman Bro 25 because he got all 3 angles of this video. He got his angle on the cell phone, the officer's body cam, and then the dash cam footage that shows, I'm not going to ruin it for you. Let's just watch the video. According to the person who was pulled over here, the officer is profiling him. The
At least
officer
he's got
walked
an
up to the
iPhone.
window and he says, "Hey, why are you pulling me over?" The officer says, "Because of suspicion of a suspended license." So what I'm thinking is that the officer might know who he is. He saw him driving a car and said, "Wait,
That might
that
not
guy's
be
got a
legal.
suspended license. I
You
need to
should
check
have
this
taken it
out."
from that
We're
angle.
going to listen to that part right here, then we're going to switch to the view of the person who is inside the car.
Yeah, I don't know if you can legally pull somebody over for suspicion. So he should have went that angle.
Because you have a possible suspended license.
All right, let's go to his view.
You have your driver's license on you? No, I do not.
You know what? He does not have to ID here. He doesn't have to ID because suspicion is not a. Well, actually, he does have to because he's driving.
Yeah.
So he's kind of fucked. Yeah.
Well, I don't know that you're kind of fucked.
Well,
Do you have your badge and ID on you? Man, I can barely hear you. Do you have your badge and ID on you? I do have my badge and ID on me.
No.
And what's your name and who you with?
Okay, what he needs to ask for here is his name and badge number, not what is he saying? What is he looking for?
He asked for his badge and his ID.
Okay.
It says Irish and you said something else. Your badge and ID on you. I do have my badge and ID on me. And what's your name and who you work for? My name's Officer Stetson, work for Pinehurst Police. You have your business card? Because it says Irish and you said something else. Yeah, that's my call sign. That's not your name?
Let me go ahead and point out that's really, really cool that their department lets them have call signs. So this is Irish.
I need to know who you are. I need your business card.
Yeah, that's what he said. Irish though.
Right there.
Did he say Irish?
No, can you put it up again?
He's complying.
Right there. So who is Irish? Again, that's my call sign. What is a call sign? Nickname. The nickname, who do you work for? Pinehurst Police.
It's like gangs have nicknames.
Pinehurst Police Department? Driver's license on you. No. Yeah. Who does it say is expired? I'm not here to argue with you. I'm not arguing, I'm just trying to figure out who do you
He just doesn't want
I
to
don't
go to
want
jail.
to call today.
I don't blame him.
I just figure out Print.
All right, so now Irish 69 is calling for a supervisor, but the supervisor who shows up isn't exactly the person that I think that this man wanted to be on the traffic stop with Officer Irish 69. Oh, I can already tell.
Oh,
we need to
Matthew
drink
Moffat
this
wants
one.
to come on and get his campaign going.
This paper?
Oh yeah, Moffat.
All right, and out comes the sovereign citizen checklist. It's all the same things that you hear in all the sovereign citizen videos that we talk about.
You said you pulled me for what? For a possible suspended license. Okay. What's your first name? You do know that you're not required to have a license to drive, right? Yes, you are. To travel? To be a traveler? Okay. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm not arguing
I
either.
think
It's just, I was having a good day till you stop.
I think that's a sovereign citizen thing, and I don't know about those laws. I think they're kind of sketchy, you know.
I mean, you have to. You ran a tag, so you pulled me because you started that. Who did the tag pull up for? That's who the tag pulled up for. According to
Black's Law Dictionary.
Colinder v. Lawson, I don't have to identify myself.
Yes, you do.
No, I'm not required to identify myself.
Yeah, you do. I'm asking you what your name is. What's your first name?
I'm just letting you know. Before I say anything else, I'm letting you know anything I say now is under threat, duress, and extortion, coercion, because
No, this is an investigation.
this is not an investigation. There's no crime or emergency.
I don't know. I think this guy might be fucked. Pretty sure he did.
Paraphernalia resisting
Well, I
an
think what it
officer.
boils down
Failed
to
to surrender li-
is his license suspended.
17. Well, the acute.
Oh,
Hold
is
on,
that
so
what it
he's
was?
trying to help the officer. Hold on, he had another video on his channel right here, the Fayetteville Police Department. Hold on, he accused these Fayetteville police officers of the same thing. On August 16, 2017, my brother and I were illegally apprehended and stopped of our travels. After 7 long months and a couple of
He's
false
good with the
imprisonments and
words.
kidnappings, I was able to get all charges dismissed. The charges for this was possession of marijuana, possession of paraphernalia, resisting a
So
public
this guy's
officer,
getting charges
failing to
dropped.
surrender license and misuse of a 911
Well, of
system.
course,
Might
if
have
you
to make
know,
another
how
video.
to
Let's
play the
continue with
game,
our
right?
traffic stop.
I'm
Well,
not
I
required.
just
How long
asked
do you
my
ID? Speeding,
What's
running.
your first name?
If you're in a car, you kind of gotta show your driver's license.
Right.
PJ.
What is it?
PJ.
PJ?
Yes.
You do know they're lying to a law enforcement officer.
I'm not lying. That's my name. You can ask anybody.
PJ Pratt.
That's my name.
What's your date of birth?
12/25.
What year?
I was a baby.
You don't know what year you were born?
He said.
I really don't even know what the
12/25,
correct day
right?
I was born. According to Christy V. Elliott, speeding, running stop signs, traveling with no license, without license plates or registration are not threats to public safety and thus are not arrestable offenses. From the Declaration of Human Rights, United Nations General Assembly, Resolution 217, December 10, 1948, Article 15. Well, that's something different. But that everyone has a right to a nationality. So what you're saying doesn't.
This guy's getting it done, man.
All these laws and stuff. That's cut of law act, and none of that applies to me.
Wow.
On the scene, he's already got his working gloves on before he even gets up to the window. And if you look closely right here, his name is Sledge.
Dude, those
If
look
you're a
like
soccer
Falcon ear
citizen, you don't
gloves,
want to
don't
get out of a car. I don't know if you want Officer Sledge
You know those
coming
ones you let the Eagles
coming
land
to the
on?
scene.
Right? You do not want
Dude,
to.
I've never seen this. I don't know what's gonna
He
happen. I
walks
was
up
just
in the
trying
air,
to
he has
find
a
something to
window
talk
punch on.
about. But
He's ready to go. What a
He's probably gonna
screenshot.
pull
He's
this
got his
guy out of
working
the
gloves
car.
on. He's got his
With all the current
punch on the
events,
corner of
you
the
had to
window,
go
and
from
then
3 years old to.
his call sign
right?
just shining brightly.
I was looking for something about a sovereign citizen. Easy way to hard way. And this is the most popular one. Don't you want to know how it ends?
Well, I mean, we're this far in.
Hard way.
Oh, he's off.
Wait, that was the easy way.
Now we can switch over to
Ooh, it's getting better. I'm
the
sorry,
dash cam
worse.
footage.
Peace, I'm out.
Noise.
Let's skip forward. Let's see. I'm gonna go on a limb and say they get him at the end.
Well, now he's fleeing,
Just
right?
saying.
Yeah, where are we
So
at
so
here?
far
Do
we
you know
have
what
he's
state it
got
is?
no suspended
I
license. He
believe
just
they
fled
said
from-
North Carolina.
Okay, yeah, you don't fuck around there either.
All right, you can see Sledge right there on the left, and Irish, of course. This is his dash cam. So Irish and Sledge, the dream team.
Oh, they probably don't get to use their
All right,
nicknames
so
anymore.
that's kind of where it stops on the for the dash cam footage. We're gonna switch back over to Irish's body cam. Ow! I'm sorry about that, guys.
He
All right,
probably
there's
should've
Sledge over
just
there. He's got
complied.
his baton out. Like
Yeah.
he's about to start
He
smacking.
should have pulled
the
over
window.
somewhere where he could have got out of his
Pushed
car
up
and got
against
down on
the
his
door.
stomach. You know what I'm saying? Now this is how you get shot. Because I'm thinking Irish has got
And there's
a
one window.
sticky
And then
trigger
if you
finger.
look closely, you can see Sledge reach in.
I can't see the cops do anything wrong yet,
Oh,
though.
it wasn't Sledge. Sledge's standing right there. Okay.
Maybe a little
Whoever the
excessive.
other officer is who isn't wearing khakis drags him right
But
through the
you-
window.
You don't take off when the cops get you pulled over.
There we go. And he's out of the car.
Should have just complied, I think.
Yeah, that was a little rough. I mean, at least they're not kicking the shit out of them like they did in Miami.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. All right, you stand up. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, up. Come here. And then y'all broke my vehicle for no reason. Well, I didn't know who was who.
Then I'd be like, it's been a pleasure pulling you over, sir. You know, I'll talk about it for the rest
You
of my
know
life.
how many lives you just put in danger, so I don't want to hear your fucking mouth.
That's not all right. Go ahead and sit down. Get my phone. Sit down.
I'll get my phone.
Heck yeah, it's gonna be seen. Look, you broke my baton.
He broke my baton.
Nope. You're gonna sit there and shut up. Alright, so I'm guessing you ran for a reason. What's fine? Yep. Unless he's just being a dick.
They were trying to unlawfully detain me, sir.
You shouldn't have ran.
I didn't run.
I don't know what you call that, Dave.
What the fuck did he just say?
I didn't run.
I didn't run? Okay. You hear him yelling?
Well, shit,
You
you
hear him
know,
yelling?
I'm glad I played donut operator because, you know, at least this guy's fair, you know what I'm
I don't know
saying?
where it's at.
He's rarely critical of the police. But he's honest. If they do something wrong, I'll call him out on it.
I'm about to speak to the sheriff. And can I get his glass out my shoe?
Get your glass out the shoe?
Yeah. And can I get my wallet and my phone?
No, you cannot get your wallet and your phone.
Why not? Can I speak to the sheriff?
The sheriff?
The sheriff, yeah, he's the one that's he's above y'all.
Is
and
he?
Can the mayor? And I would like to request the mayor down here immediately.
All right,
Request the
so
mayor
now he's
down there.
requesting the sheriff and the mayor down there immediately after he just endangered everyone who was on the road
Right,
and ran
right.
from police officers. I want to point out real quick, as smart as you think you are, putting all these little case laws and things down here. This is the Pinehurst Police Department, not the Pinehurst Sheriff's Department.
Oh, right. This is town, not county.
They work for the sheriff.
You sheriff?
They should just have somebody come in and be like, I'm the sheriff. You know?
Sheriff has nothing to do with this.
Oh, here comes the mayor. Mr.
No,
Mayor,
no, he's
he wants
not.
to talk with you.
You're wrong.
Hey, Steve, can you flip the lights back on?
Take
They
your shoe
should
off.
have got like Mayor McCheese from McDonald's.
Take your shoe off. I'm not taking your shoe off.
Before you put me, what I tell you, I've had something like this happen.
Okay.
So, you know,
That's fine.
at least we had
Take
two
us over there,
videos.
brother.
At least we had two videos. One made the cops look bad. One made the cops look good. Because I think Irish and what was the other one?
Sledge.
Sledge. Yeah, I think they did their. I think they did it. I'd love to have a cop on here that's actually had a sovereign citizen that they pulled over before and how they handled it. And then if we could get that body cam footage, I'd really appreciate it.
Why would you like to have a cop on here? I'm fucking holding 20 pounds of smack right up
Right.
up in prison wallet right now. Jesus Christ, Austin, I don't even understand you sometimes. So what about this, what's this variant that's going around, and now there's more people hospitalized than there's ever been, and
Yeah, are they gonna lock us down again? It's like, oh, you gotta start wearing. Well, it's like there's some people that never stopped wearing the mask.
well,
But,
it's just kind of funny that they locked us down prior, but now they're like, no, we can't go back to that.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like maybe they learned their lesson, but yeah, we're still going back to masks and.
You know,
at least we're back in the classrooms now, good
Yeah.
for the teachers and the students.
Since I drive a lot, since I drive for Lyft a lot, I talk to a lot of people that are moving through the town, and you'd be surprised. A lot of them are like, "Holy shit!" When I came to this town and nobody had masks on, I was like, "Fucking!" It's like I found like a safe place finally, you know. Especially for the people that don't want to wear the fucking mask, you know.
Well, you know, down in Florida, they're not mandating that you wear masks, so a lot less people are.
Right.
And there are, you know, I mean, the one thing about it is, I get your right, but what about this right to somebody that can get sick from you? You know, and the masks protect.
I
More
sanitize my
people
car.
from
I keep
you.
sanitizer. I keep masks. I've got two really nice masks that I wear. And if people want me to wear my mask, I will. If they come up to my car and they got a mask on, I'll put mine on. But it's kind of like don't ask, don't tell. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm going to put a mask if you've got one on. But if you don't have one on, I'm not going to ask you to put one on.
I mean,
So-
I just feel like I said, it's not for my protection, because I'm not worried about myself. I do it for other people, you know, like, for example, if you do see elderly people, or if you do see babies where, you know, their immune system may be a little bit more suspect and we don't know what can possibly happen, you know, maybe think of other people, you know, instead of get off your high horse saying, oh.
Dude, they should make rubbers mandatory.
For some people, they
'Cause
should.
it's like,
I mean,
dude,
some people should not.
Somebody out
be
there getting
informed.
girls pregnant probably affects our community more than not wearing a mask.
Definitely
So-
our economy, you know, and they just signed this $1 trillion freaking new bill into law that's going to put us how much more in debt, you know.
Right? And you know the best way to know if people are wearing condoms? More fucking cameras. Lots more. I'm talking like lots more cameras, because we got to make sure that people are wearing fucking rubbers, and we got to make sure that they have their mask on at all times, not just out in public.
I'm not sure that there can be many more cameras. I mean, most people have at least one camera on them at all times.
Right.
You know, and they're mic'd up, and a lot of these phones have multi-cameras.
What if we gave them like this thing that went around their neck, like a necklace, but a little bit tighter, you know, so they just can't rip it off, and it's got like cameras and microphones on it, just so we can keep an eye on them to make sure they're wearing the rubbers and the masks.
You
And,
know what, Austin? You just gave me a great idea for
And they're not
police.
drinking too many sugary drinks.
Like, okay, here's a great idea for
No, for real though. I
police
care
officers.
about the community.
Okay, here's a real
Yeah.
good idea. So you get a necklace. It starts out pretty loose. Every time you fuck up, it gets a little tighter.
Yeah, a little bit
It
tighter.
just keeps getting tighter. Every time until, you see what I mean? You got your own destiny in your hand at that point.
Did you ever watch those animal shows where the fucking dogs in the backyard chained up for a year got the embedded collar? 'Cause
Yeah,
they
that's
grew
awesome,
into
man.
it.
But
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a dirty cop, you know, the same thing happened to a dirty cop.
Dude, the same thing that happens to dirty cops, those ones kicking that guy in the face when he's handcuffed. That's how mad I'm as mad at the guy that let his dog's collar get embedded than I am with that cop.
You know, my thing is like this, and not only should we always treat people kinder, you know,
Unless they,
even
their dogs,
than you treating people right now, I think that we can all be kinder. And as a police officer, what if that's your son in a different town being treated like that to the officer?
You know what? I don't want
Because they
I don't want
know.
the police to be kind. I want them to be just and held accountable.
Well, I think all people should be kind.
And I actually did get pulled over recently by one cop, and he was a gentleman. He was
And I know
he was
you,
very professional.
you told him you know your rights. You requested a body cavity search.
You know what? Some cop actually just got fired. He got fired recently because some girl asked for a body cavity search, and he obliged. I swear to God, I don't know where I could find that, but if
I'm
one of you
calling
guys could
bullshit
find
on
it,
that.
I'm gonna look for it. But dude, you know what? We're doing good right now.
We were until you derailed it.
Yeah, I'll have that for you next week, lunatics. Where you know, there's legendary cops doing like
You know, we
long
were
shit.
actually talking about relevant stuff.
What's up, Mindy Sue? Were we talking about relevant shit?
Yeah, we were, and then
About cops running them amok?
Well, I mean, we're talking about them policing themselves, and we're talking about being kinder overall. We're talking
Yeah.
about, you know, coronavirus, wear your masks. I mean, like I said, quit being so selfish. That's one of the most selfish things you can do is not oblige, you know. Simple as that. Why fight it? There's bigger fish. You know, my mother always told me to pick my battles.
Chris Crutcher just said that Christina Applegate came out on the news today and said
Fuck you, Chris, and
She's-
please, you
she's
keep
got
your
the
mask
best.
on.
She's got advice.
That's awful.
Yeah, isn't she our age?
Christina Aguilera.
Yeah.
This could be the segment where Austin talks with Echo.
No, you know what?
I think she's a little bit younger.
A little bit younger. Echo. How old is Christina Applegate? Let me guess, 50.
Christina Applegate is 49 years old.
Okay, I was
She was
close.
born on November 25th, 1971.
Wow.
Did you say Christina Applegate or did you say Christina Aguilera?
Christina Applegate.
Is who you said.
Kelly Bundy.
Well,
Steve.
I'm not sure.
I know that.
Echo, stop.
But I think at first you said Christina Aguilera. I'll have to check the tape.
Okay, well, the camera doesn't lie, and that's why we should all have cameras on us. Once
We
I
do.
get in charge and I install the cameras on everybody,
We do.
then we'll be able to, you know, remember, let's go down the list. Everybody's wearing rubbers, everybody's wearing masks. They're not drinking too many sugary drinks.
Why again are the rubbers? I forgot.
So we can control the population. You know what, Steve? I know where you're coming from here.
That sounds like communism.
They don't have to wear rubbers. We just sterilize them, just like they did in the, the other day I went through this, I don't even know if it was a DUI checkpoint, but I'm taking this kid to Rivian. Those roads out there suck, by the way, especially East College right there. And I'm taking this kid to Rivian, and all of a sudden, there's like a dozen state, I think they were state, you know what, maybe it was county, I wasn't paying that close attention, but yeah, it's like the guy comes up to my car, just stopping everybody, and it's like wants to see my license and fucking registration and ask me a bunch of questions, you know.
Did you put your junk away?
Yeah. And dude, you can tell I had my fucking my Lyft terminal right there, and I've got a cat sitting right behind me. If you're cruising with a friend, they generally don't sit directly behind you, right?
Well, you know I like to sit behind.
Right. And so
Makes me feel
the
like
officer shines his light in the back window and asks the kid something, and I knew this kid hadn't slept and he just got off the plane, and I just rolled his fucking window up, you know. I was like, I did that. I was like, talk to me. I was like, you know, I'm this guy's a passenger. I'm trying to get him to work in time. He's already 3 hours late. He just got here off the plane. So
I'm the driver.
Yeah. So they backed off.
Well, that's good. Flex your muscle. I like that.
I wasn't flexing my muscle. I was like, I'm a professional.
Seems like it.
I'm a professional driver, and you're not going to extend the search of a vehicle if you do to its passengers.
Kind of like.
That's one right you don't have.
What was that movie with Jason Statham?
Passenger.
No.
The kidnapper. The package.
Come on.
The package. See, you don't know either, or you would have said it 5 minutes ago.
No, I do know. I just think it's funny that you don't.
You don't know it.
Come on, there was 3 of them.
I don't know. What's up, Zach King? I don't know why we have to play this game at this time, Steve. I think it says Lawrence Mueller is watching.
What's that? Lunatic.
But, yeah, what the fuck were we talking about? I can't believe we made it this far and it's this high. I think it's because I went off on a tangent.
I think you did go off on a tangent.
Yeah.
You know, but it's all right. We digress. You know, we're back on track. We're going with the flow. And you still ain't gonna say the transporter?
Oh, you finally figured it out, huh?
I finally figured it out.
Yeah. But I think for some reason when I see that word, I see transporter.
Transport?
Or train spotter, yeah.
Train spotting?
I think that's probably my dyslexia. Anybody else ever see it? Look at the
Train spotting. Wasn't that a movie about heroin?
Yeah. It's got the baby climbing on the ceiling scene, which probably still haunts everybody like it does myself. But I think the movie you're talking about with Jason Statham, it says transporter, but I think he's like going like this, and he's like on top of a train or something. So I think my mind just I think it corrects it. Oh, what they're talking about is train spotter or transporter or I don't know. You know, there's always certain words that I just can't say. Like Worcestershire. Chris says, take questions from listeners. So I will take a question.
All right, Chris, you can be the first one. Ask a fucking question.
If I don't know, I'll ask Alexa. Shut your mouth.
Did Chris ask a question, or is he
I don't
too
know.
slow?
Chris, you got a question?
Come on, buddy. You still high from the marijuana festival?
Mama, what's the marijuana festival? There are people watching, but I think MJ would be proud as fuck if I actually made it to the end of this motherfucker.
Well, we're gonna ride the storm out, but I'm a little disappointed in you. I'm not gonna lie.
At what?
At your inability to pull up clips and to have everything, you know, like bang bang. Like we still got this asshole. You know what are we promoting him? Donut.
Donut Operator. No, he's actually got a very good channel. I found him through another YouTube channel called Off the Ranch. I don't know if you guys know that. And then there's the guy in Off the Ranch. He got. I think he got.
Have a question?
I think he got famous because he started this thing called Abandoned Mansion, and he would go exploring in this abandoned mansion, and he ended up buying it and renovating it, and his YouTube channel just blew up, and They actually added on to the abandoned mansion. If you go to YouTube and just look up abandoned mansion off the ranch, you can. I think a lot of people binge watch those videos. They'll start from the beginning and then watch them all the way through. They're very enjoyable.
So what do you think about Cuomo?
Cuomo, I think he's guilty. I think he needs to resign, but
I think he's guilty.
live video interrupted. So we made it, I think, 4 minutes till. Of
Live
course,
video interrupted on what?
well, we've still got 2 channels going. We've got MJ's live feed, and we've got, I don't know which one this was. I believe it was Facebook, so we've still got YouTube going. Maybe YouTube usually cuts out before
What did we say to get kicked off Facebook?
YouTube usually quits. So I don't even know if we're live on YouTube. I could check. And Christopher Kimmons is still asking questions.
Peace out, lunatics.
Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna shut this operation down. I think MJ will be proud with the progress or how far we actually made it. Would that be progress, Stephen?
Yep.
Progress.
Much love. Hit that like button.
I doubt this one's still on.
We're gonna be much better next week.
Yeah, hopefully much cooler.
I'm gonna bring in.
Ooh, this phone is burning up, dude.
That's probably what was making it so hot in here.
And